Hi, next round of plays. Alright, so this particular move is endgame. I'm ahead by a lot. I've got options here if I can take it. I can't think of anything with the S. I do have a bonus, and if you watched the previous move on this, I ended up playing Shoji, keeping a B and an A or something, and picked a really good rack, but I don't think there's anywhere I can possibly play it because the board is so blocked. The okay, so what's the principles? It's to go out in two and to score as much, or go out in one if I can. I can't think of anything through here. There might be something really clever. Tens. I kind of want to try and play here, but I can't think of anything like. So the immediate thing you should look for is S, B, and if you can think of any words that go S, B, great. Or like that. If you get a similar spot. I wonder if my opponent just tried to block my bonus line here, because I almost had one as well. So I've got things like really clever things like SRI here, 32. There are moves like ISBA for 30, doesn't really score as much. Astur. Oh, now I'm assuming Lavo takes an S. Sometimes they don't. Does that one take an S? Okay, that doesn't take an S, so bang goes that. So we're probably going to play here. Now I just have to figure out. Now you just have to figure out. Well, I want to play here. What else can I play? How can I get rid of BATA? BATA doesn't really make any obvious fives on the board. BAFT. So here, BAFT. At this stage, I'm not going to work out. I think my opponent's got a J actually. No, I'd play the J. So BAFT, and I think BAFT is good. Yeah, so I can play that one. If I could play the ABAT off at that point, that would be awesome. But in this case, I don't think I can. Yeah, so unfortunately, even though it would be an awesome move playing like this SR here, I don't think I'm going to be able to play it. Right, so, well, find an out in two. That's all you've got to do. I think maybe you can find it before I do. So I think I think I can do an avas here. Let's just check. Yep. And of course avas takes a T. So okay, I found a play for AAS. So I'd need somewhere to play Brit. But is there a place to play Brit? I can't see it anywhere. So what might have to happen in this game is that I just play off a really silly, what seems like a really silly play, and then just go from there. My opponent has, I think we worked out she must have an S, at least one S. My opponent, I say he. Things like writs are okay. This is where it gets down to a complex endgame, and this is where the ones that you need to challenge. Now, is Saba good? No, if Saba's good, I might go with this one. No. So, okay, another one, taking a hotspot here. Stare and Bap. It's not terrible. Unless you know you can catch your opponent with bad letters. Yeah, it's just better to It's better to go out in 2. That's why I'm not even really considering that that thing. So as an example, this scores 32. I could score, you know, here I can score 16, but whatever my opponent gets in 2 turns minus my tiles, so it'll be like 10, at least 10, and it could be up to it could be 10 minus minus what I got on my tiles. Could be a lot more. Yeah, I'm kind of stumped in following my own things and the scoring, and that's always a tricky thing, is trying to keep the score going while getting rid of your crappy letters, because that's pretty much how Scrabble works: getting score and getting rid of letters. So Rich Saba, I like this opportunity somewhere. I might play. Okay, so I reckon he's opened this for his own S. So let's just spoil his fun, and you get to do a lot of that in Scrabble. You're always trying to spoil someone's fun. Let's Bafts. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold Bat, and I'm going to play Sare. Or Sari. Play Sari. And then I'm going to play Baft over here next turn, or I'm going to play Boat if he takes the spot. And that way I've got an out into... so I've got other things, but I've got a really easy out in 2 next turn, even though this scores less for this turn. And I will get a sad face from Teacher, I guarantee you. Ooh, wasn't happy with that. It wasn't a super sad face, but Teacher doesn't always know best. Did I miss anything? Bart's here. So no, not through the A, and that was the only viable spot. Next turn, I've got Junk. The board is closed, except this spot. So if I can I take the X? No. Can I block the spot? Like, I can play Max. So I'm ahead by a lot. Let's put this through. I'm ahead by a lot. Do I want to maximize my X, or do I want to block? It's not so blocked that it would be impossible for my opponent to not bonus. So there's an L spot here, there's an N spot, an L spot here. So the L playing in this column here, the G in this column here, and here. So there's not really much point in blocking, because it would be counterproductive, because I'd probably sacrifice the good stuff on my rack to try and block, when all I really need to do is just play something. How far we're in the mid, we're still in the mid game, and I'm ahead by a lot. So I'm going to keep my L. So I've got something here to play with. How many eyes? 1, 2. There's lots of eyes left, so it's okay to keep the Q at this point. So I'm just going to play XI here. Reduce as a bonus line. My opponent could catch up if they bonus. So killing one of the bonus spots does help, and I've got an L hook for myself. It's unlikely I'd get anything close to a bonus next turn, but we'll see what I get. So in this case, all I did was select the highest scoring play. I've got a very healthy lead, so I'm over 200 points ahead, and I just want to build on that. So my opponent's going to have a very hard time catching up. One, because there's only 23 letters in the bag, so the maximum, they'd need like 3 bonuses to catch up, or a triple. So I've got to just be aware of that. Next turn. Oh yeah, I remember picking this. So here, Allah is good. I can't think of a bonus. Maybe there isn't one. Double A would be a good play as well. And it's arguable. It's very arguable which is the better. What would be the better play out of these? But I'm going to choose ALA. Now, what does ALA do for me? Bonusy tiles opens up a spot here. There's still a spot here. It hasn't ruined that. And I mean, I'm ahead by a lot, but hey, I've got good tiles. I can't block the board, you know. So I've come up with this word. Yeah. So ignore grumpy face. And I've got. Do I have 2 spots for it? Yeah. So I have 2 spots. So I have a spot here. Now that I've opened up this spot for myself. So I've got here. And I've got here. So it's looking really good. And if my opponent doesn't take this, I think it's going to be very hard for them. That does take an S, so we'll see. Okay, so I know I had S's on the rack, and then I picked more S's. There's no goadings, so I can't play that. I'm behind, so I want to keep it open. I've also got good tiles, so I definitely want to keep it open. Things like rouse here, just scoring with what you've got is fine. I think this is going to be my choice of play as well, because now the thing about this is, sure, I score, but I'm not blocking anything, and that's a thing I see a lot of other Scrabble players, lower Scrabble players do, even higher Scrabble players. They will kill the board. They will kill their own board to get a little bit of score, when what they need is it to be completely blasted open. So I'm happy with rouse. I'd rather get rid of the L, but it's not happening on this rack. So we'll just go ahead and play. Yeah. Okay. So Q in that situation is not terrible, and I'll show you why when their stupid ad gets out of my way. QI here is fine. At a pinch I can play QI there. Maybe a T will come up, but this is a really good score. If that bit gets blocked but there's still an I can play the QI in there. And I might even play QI and S. Might seem a waste. You might go, wow, you're wasting S, but I only need 1 S. You know? Alright, so next game. Okay, so unsynergistic tiles, the B and the P don't really work together. Probably the best solution is BAP. If you could get rid of both of them, it'd be even better. But yeah, so map, maybe. Look, you might be tempted to take map and then play something else, but you can't. You need to get rid of that B or that P. I prefer keeping a P on my rack, and sometimes it can be a little bit of, you can be a little bit obsessive about the things that you don't that you really like and that you don't, and I don't really like the B. But if I can score, so I can score PAP here, which is, you know, really good. I can't put the B here. This takes a G as well as an S. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now my opponent could have an E and bonus of there, but you know what? They could have one here as well. So don't worry about what you're opening, because unless it's like really close. But the thing is, I still want to open because I know, because of my playstyle basically. And I got a blank and an S. So if I'd had the P, if I'd somehow had the P, I would have, yes, sure, I would have had a bonus. But I've probably got a bonus here as well, like a sub, something. or let's see, runabouts. So like that's a 9, but it would be fun to, which would be fun to play. So that's, I've seen runabout here. Just needed a couple extra letters. We'll see. It'll probably end with me playing an S onto this mic, or here, or an OS here, or something. You know, yeah. There's lots of options. All right, so I'll leave it there. Thanks for listening.